Yes, my beautiful people, you don't know it's your boy Maxi. I don't know it's Maxi TV. You don't know the thing, as you know the damn, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You don't know Maxi TV, vlogs, interviews, challenges, and all of that, traveling and all of that. So, welcome to another video. The other day yesterday we talk about the disadvantages of being a night shift worker. So today we're gonna talk about how to overcome some of those disadvantages as being a night shift worker. So how to mitigate some of those challenges. Well, one of the things is that you have to prioritize your sleep. So that's the number one thing, how to overcome the disadvantages of being a night shift worker. Well, you have to prioritize your sleeping pattern. So that's number one. So you have to make time for sleep, in other terms. So maybe take a 4 hour in the morning and another 4 hour in the afternoon, but you have to prioritize a sleeping pattern and make a sleeping pattern and try to stick to it. So that's number one. Number two, you have to prepare your room where you're gonna sleep in the daytime. Prepare your place for sleep in terms of getting some thick drapes, having ventilation, or you have a fan, AC, and stuff like that. So you have to prepare the room for sleep. So prepare your room or where you're gonna sleep for sleep. The second thing is you have to make time for exercise to create a fit and restful body. So when you exercise, you know you're gonna feel more tired so that you're able to sleep. So that's another thing to overcome the disadvantage of being a shift worker. So you have to make time for some exercise. Exercise to make your body fit, and then you help it to relax to get some sleep. Another thing is avoid caffeine and energy drinks before sleep. Cause you know those things can keep you up and keep you moving. And then when you are ready to go to work at the time, you are ready to sleep when you should be going to work. So avoid stimulants and energy drinks before sleeping. That's why I said before, you have to make a sleeping pattern or create a sleeping pattern, prioritize a sleeping pattern. So you know when it's that time, you set a time between say 8 in the morning till midday or whatever. You have to prioritize and set a sleeping time and a sleeping pattern. So avoid stimulants or energy drinks before you know you go to sleep. You know that will give you a fight not to sleep. And next thing to overcome the disadvantages of being a night shift worker is having a healthy lifestyle. Try to have a healthy lifestyle. Drink a lot of water and eat healthy when you can. And try to have like a light food before going to sleep. So exercise, as I said earlier on, and try to have a healthy eating habit. So you have a sandwich with some vegetables or even fruits and drink some water or exercise just before you sleep, so that will kind of relax the body. Another thing to overcome the disadvantages of being a shift worker is staying hydrated. As I said before, drinking a lot of water. I normally drink a lot of water, yeah, during the daytime before I go to bed. Another thing to overcome the disadvantage of being a night shift worker is stop overeating, as I said before. Eat a lot of food before you go sleep. Your body, your stomach and your organs will continue to work while you sleep, or you cannot sleep, or you're going to be uncomfortable. Another thing to overcome the disadvantages of being a shift worker is set a schedule for your social life. For example, make plans beforehand, tell your friends, and make plans beforehand so you can plan things on your day off or get a night off, or even take a night off so you can have a social life. Example, go to a party, any family function. So plan ahead. Yeah. So make time for social life and plan it beforehand. Another thing to overcome the disadvantage of being a shift worker, night shift worker, is some places that you work, you can change your shift. You can require afternoon to night shift or day shift for those persons. For those persons who work nights only or most nights, you have to make time. Take a night off or ask for an extra night. Just relax and spend time with the family. Another thing to overcome the disadvantages of being a night shift workers is take regular breaks at work, whether nap break, water break, coffee break, smoke break, take a break, or even just relax. Yeah. So that's another way to overcome the disadvantages of being a night shift worker. Or the problems that night shift workers encounter is another way is to take breaks. Another thing to overcome the problems faced by night shift workers, especially as I said before in an earlier video, that night shift workers tend to drink alcohol, stimulants, or drugs, is to try to drink more water and try to avoid places where you get caught up in alcohol. So instead of the alcohol, you drink water or natural fruit juice. And another thing to overcome the problems faced by night shift worker is get regular checkup. As I said before, one of the disadvantages of being a night shift worker is you are prone to chronic illnesses. So get regular checkups, go to your doctor, your clinic, get regular checkups and adhere to what the doctor said. And as I said before, drink a lot of water. Yeah, so that's one more way to overcome the problems faced by night shift workers. So all we have to do is keep on get regular checkups so we can find the problems before they happen and we can correct them or minimize them. So as I said before, another way to overcome the disadvantages of being a shift worker who are prone to have chronic illness is to get regular checkups. Another thing, as I said, one of the disadvantages of being a night shift worker is drinking alcohol, taking drugs or stimulant. Is how to overcome that is again drink a lot of water, exercise, and try to cut down on your alcohol intake or stimulants. Another thing to do to eliminate some of the problems is that of a night shift worker is take your supplements, get enough sunlight for your vitamin D, eat a lot of vitamin C, and also take your supplements. Yeah, especially as a night shift worker, you lose a lot of your strength, you lose a lot of vitamins being out in the night too and operating out in the night. So another thing is to make sure that we are taking our supplements, our vitamins and iron minerals. Another thing for overcoming disadvantages of being a night shift worker is get more sunlight. When on your night off, try to get as much sleep, drink a lot of water, exercise, and I said earlier, and take your supplements. Yeah. As I said before, my people, you don't know it's a boy Maxi, and you know it's Maxi TV. Like, comment, and share. Yeah, man, another video about how to overcome the disadvantages of being a night shift worker. That is just some of the things that you can do, and that's my opinion. Feel free to add other things in the comment section that you think you can do to overcome the disadvantages of night shift worker. Alright, you don't know, big up on yourself. You don't know, your boy Maxi, and it's Maxi TV. Like, comment, and share. Blessings as always.